Hey guys, this is CE Mattison, and welcome back to a Let's Comment On. And we made over 50 subscribers, and in one day, when I looked, I had 47 subscribers, and at the end of that same day, now I went up to 56. I had to make sure I wasn't dreaming this. I had to make sure that there wasn't like a faulty in the system, but it's true. We made over 56 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for subscribing to Scintillating Reviews and helping me grow Scintillating Reviews. Now, as promised, we are going to watch The Plague Dogs. Now, I don't know much about The Plague Dogs other than the fact that it is based on a Richard Adams novel, and Richard Adams is the same author who wrote the novel of 1978's Watership Down. Now, the only idea of The Plague Dogs that I know is that it follows a pair of dogs, Snitter and Ralph, who escape from a laboratory, and this laboratory is like a research laboratory, so we're gonna see a lot of animal cruelty in this, just to forewarn everybody, and as they try to survive in the wild with the help of a cunning fox. So I think I have an idea how I can do this time. Watership Down, I had to do over 7 revisions of this, and unfortunately I had to turn it into a podcast review, and that's not really what I wanted to do, but it had to go that way. No matter what I did, it had to go that way. So hopefully we do not have to do the same thing again for The Plague Dogs. I think I have an idea how we can do this time. But without further ado, let's go ahead and comment on The Plague Dogs. And keep in mind, I am not going to put up the entire film on YouTube. I'm only just going to put snits and bits on it. If there is something that appears that I don't think is safe to show, but I think it is important to know for story purposes, I am going to go ahead and put up my safeguards, because I don't need to get struck for it. And, you know, I'm just trying to save your eyes, but who knows what surprises are going to come in for The Plague Dog. So, Watership Down I thought was going to be totally gruesome, totally gory, but it was actually very calm. It was very, very tame. There was just the one snips at the very end of Watership Down where it's like, okay, I can see where it got the controversial of just everything. But, if you're interested in wanting to know my thoughts on Watership Down, click on that link on the top right corner and it will take you directly to that video of my review of Watership Down. But without further ado, let's go ahead and comment on The Plague Dogs. In 3, 2, 1, and go. This already has an eerie feeling. I can't even get an idea. Oh.
2 hours, 20 minutes, 53 and 2/5 seconds.
6.5 minutes longer than Wednesday's test, and about 12 minutes longer than the one before that.
It's remarkable how regular the increase appears to be, isn't it? Be interesting to see what happens when its expectation of removal is countered by its physical limit.
Oh, how am I going to do this?
We do have a monkey set aside for that, don't we?
Just waiting for the go-ahead.
Right, then get it into the cylinder this evening.
I'm going to tell you already, I'm going to have to put safeguards up already. I don't feel safe showing this on YouTube.
Stay up all that. You're not getting nowhere. What's this? Poor little bugger.
Is he gone? Oh, no. No.
Not really, was it?
Oh, man. I can't. I want to stop right now. My heart is tearing right now. I'm sorry I'm not speaking much. I'm just, so, fascinated of what's happening. Not the dog torture. Of course. God, no. Not the dog torture. Oh, God. Not the animal torture. What is that? Is that a garbage chute?
Something's been burnt in there.
Oh, no.
Bones.
No, that's where they throw in the animals' He saved the poor dog.
It's that terrier. It was his fault. The dog killed him.
Wow. I don't believe that. God, you have to hate humans sometimes.
Damn this place. Damn the white coats. Damn you all.
Oh God. Oh no. Oh, yes! Oh my God. Why did I pick this day to watch it? Yay! They did it! So, what are we gonna do for the next hour and a half?
To what we used to be. Real animals. Wild animals.
Oh.
We'll find food.
Jesus.
We'll live by our teeth and kill.
I guess my thoughts are I'm gonna have to. Oh my God.
If you'll hunt and kill with me, I'll keep your reet and you'll get your meat. You'll run through the meat and follow me feet.
I don't understand a word he's saying.
The cunning trickster. Okay, so we're in the game of survival now. Okay. Woo! Nice attack! Just saying off the bat, that was a good attack. Oh, that fox! Man! Fox is known as the cunning tricksters. He's obviously using them for his own deed.
Come on, that's it. Come on, up we go.
Woo! If he just set that gun away, then maybe he would have found his new home.
Indeed a public danger, as local farmers hotly maintain, or are they wrongly blamed? This is Lynn Driver reporting from Coniston.
They're totally wrongly blamed. A dog is not trained to kill.
Wait a minute.
And they've been tortured.
I might have mentioned something about the dogs to a lady who drove me back to the lab after the incident with the police. Nothing about goodness work or bubonic plague. I couldn't, could I? I didn't even know he was working with the damn plague.
That's why you always say no comment to anything. I have no words to describe this film so far. I'm so flabbergasted of everything that is happening in this film. God, this is more brutal than Watership Down. Watership Down is like the bunny's way of circle of life. Okay, but the plague dogs, like their behaviors is all because of like animal cruelty testing. Oh no. Oh! Oh man! Oh my God!
He's too crafty.
Get those dogs on lead, Sergeant!
It's a foxer. They've got a bloody fox.
We can be free.
They're directly in front of you. Poor little bastards.
This is not how we're gonna end. Oh my God! There really is an end! That's how we're gonna end the plague dogs. Oh my God! I don't believe this. Watership Down was subtle compared to the plague dogs. Holy crap! I can't. Oh, I can't. I'll be back. So do I even want to talk about the plague dogs? Not really, but okay, we will. The plague dogs is about two dogs named Rolf and Snitter who are locked up in this research facility, and just the experimentation that's been onto these poor dogs, it's just animal cruelty. I mean, Watership Down, it's like bunny versus bunny. It's just their way of survival. But the plague dogs, oh my gosh. I wanted to quit the first 7 minutes we started in this film. I couldn't. I couldn't go forward with it. But I did it. What is interesting about the plague dogs is this is MGM Studios' very first non-family oriented animated film. The Plague Dogs was directed by Martin Rosen, and it is the same guy who directed Watership Down. And what makes the light bulb finally click on for this film is Watership Down in the UK was rated U, and essentially that's us Americans' way of saying G or PG. But in Britain, The Plague Dogs was rated PG, and here in America, The Plague Dogs was rated as PG-13, in which I believe that should be the correct rating, and that should have been the rating for Watership Down. And as they escape, the scientists and the researchers, and they're getting everybody together to go after these dogs because fear has risen that they believe that the two dogs are carrying the bubonic plague. I can see where we're going with this. Oh. So while 9 minutes in, Snitter and Rolf have finally escaped this animal research facility. And I said to myself, this is awesome! They did it! They escaped! So what are we going to do for the next hour and a half? Well, obviously a whole lot came out of this hour and a half. We first see Snitter and Rolf just have the discussion where what are they going to do now? And Rolf pretty much answers, well, they're going to do what, you know, their ancestors have done. They're wild. They're like turned feral now. They have to fend for themselves rather than the researchers or the white coats that they call them are giving them food. Later they meet a fox by the name of Todd. Todd said he would help Snitter and Rolf kind of fend for themselves and get food, in exchange that Todd would get half of the food that they've caught. So it's just a little bit of back and forth with that. And later on in this film we see Snitter out and about where he meets with a hunter who spots Snitter, and he didn't look harmful to Snitter. He was trying to get Snitter's attention and just, you know, trying to bring Snitter in. And Snitter, who previously had a master, he can recognize good humans, bad humans. So Snitter recognizes Hunter as a good human, and while Snitter was jumping up on this hunter, his paw slipped and it hit the trigger of the gun, blowing this man's face. As we can see, just blood trickle down from his hands and is just splatters to a vehicle and onto Snitter. Now, gratefully, we don't get into the whole graphic detail of that scene, but I don't feel safe showing that on my channel. So I know there's others that have shown that clip. So if you want to see this film yourself or watch other people review, I know they're going to show that scene, so feel free to have it, but I just don't feel safe doing that. that just kind of makes me want to be like, what is going on with these people? If only the guy just put the gun away, then this film would have been over. Snitter and Rolf would have had a new master. Everything would have been fine and dandy. Snitter would have shown Rolf like the ways of being a dog when you're in a home with somebody. No, we're not gonna go that route, apparently. And later we get into a deeper detail on what the white coats did to Snitter. They did an experimentation on him, and you can see the little incision on his head when he takes off the bandage or whatever he had on his head, and it just made him like see things. That made him hallucinate, and it came to the point where he had minor seizures from this operation. And this just makes me hate people more. Like, how can you do that to a poor dog? Like, what is your purpose? And eventually this purpose comes to where the media is driven by rumors of these dogs carrying the bubonic plague, as they're murdering sheeps and murdering humans, which we could see later in this film that some of the skin and the flesh was taken off from a human by Rolf and Snitter, and possibly Todd too. This film shows one of the most tear-jerking endings. I was so paralyzed from what was happening. They've come to the point where now Rolf and Snitter are by an ocean shore, and Snitter sees an island up ahead, and he says, "We can be free," as Snitter walks in the water. Rolf, who was experimented with water, him being in the water for almost 2.5 hours, he's having trauma with this now. So now he's hesitant to follow due to him drowning in the fear of water. But with the gunmen coming, he was able to jump into the water to catch up with Snitter. Snitter is at the point where he says, I'm tired, I can't go any further." Rolf is just trying to encourage him, and he says he sees the island. "Come on, Snitter, I see the island, come on, we can do it." This film fades to where there's white fog enshrouding the dogs, and then after the white fog opens up, we see a silhouette of an island. Now, this film is definitely open-ended. Two possible endings could occur. You could have the good ending, or you could have the bad ending. Me, with my love of dogs, I'm gonna go with the good ending, that they are able to push themselves, and they finally got onto this island where it's just Snitter and Rolf and maybe a few other animals that are welcoming these dogs and just teaching them the ways of the island. Or these dogs have been driven to so much trauma and anxiety to where they just keep on swimming until there's no end, and they unfortunately drown due to exhaustion of going into the middle of the ocean. I said it once, I'll say it again. Watership Down is very subtle compared to the plague dogs. Watership Down is survival of the bunnies, and it's just the bunnies' way of circle of life, where the ending was kind of sad, but it just depicts on the bunnies' way of life, where Hazel was able to leave her first home with all the other bunnies, and they took over the territory, and they finally won this territory, and Hazel grew older, and he passed away knowing that the herd of bunnies and his family and stuff, they're gonna be fine, and everything is fine, everything's gonna continue the way that it's going to. But here we have the plague dogs, where these dogs are just so cruelly tested, and this just makes me mad. And you have points in this film where it's like, oh, okay, well, we have dogs. Oh, okay, these dogs escaped from a research lab. Oh, okay, now they're turning wild. Oh, okay, now fear has driven that they're carrying the bubonic plague. Okay. Some of the points in this film I hardly spoke. I was just in shock of this film. The animation for 1982 was smooth. It was sharp for its time. And this just makes me want to wonder what is going on inside the mind of Richard Adams. Richard Adams was the author of the same title of The Plague Dogs. He was also responsible for the novel of Watership Down. It's, again, like I'm going to say with Watership Down, The Plague Dogs is definitely not made for kids. This is one of these films that's just going to hit you in the heart. This film is very, very dark, very, very cruel, and a lot of things are just going to change in my mind right now. There's really not much I can say anymore about The Plague Dogs. Rating The Plague Dogs, I have to give it a 3.5 out of 5. The story was very solid and it was very simple, but it just made me want to say, what are we going to do now for the next hour and a half other than Snitter and Rolf just trying to find their ways of survival while meeting Todd the fox, while escaping the hunters and the gunsmith who are trying to capture these dogs because fear is growing that they are carrying this bubonic plague. Rotten Tomatoes actually ranked The Plague Dogs 57%. If you have like strong hold and heart for animals, and it's dogs especially, I would just suggest for you guys to not watch this film. And the song that plays during the end credits is the big tearjerker. I didn't cry for it, but I know there's some with more of heavy hearts that are just going to tear because they really want to know the fate of these animals, but it's just left open-ended. You don't really know exactly what it is. So that is it for The Plague Dogs. Thank you guys so much for stopping in and taking a listen on my review of The Plague Dogs. The Plague Dogs was a 50 subscriber special, so thank you guys so much for helping me grow Scintillating Reviews. So with that in mind, I have a challenge for you guys. I will be creating a poll of 3 films and TV shows that I should review next, or let's comment on next, for 100 subscribers. If I can get 100 subscribers, one of the 3 things is going to happen. I will do either A, let's comment on The Ringing Bell, B, let's review My Hero Academia, or 3, let's revisit When the Dead Go to Die. One of these 3 things is going to happen, and I hope you guys will pick the right choice, because I am scared now. What the hell am I putting myself into? So 100 subscribers, vote on one of the 3 things that's going to happen. I will be keeping track. I will be posting different numbers. I know the Twitter polls only go up to a certain number, but I will be putting side-by-side results. I'll keep putting up the polls, keep putting up pictures on who is winning so far until we reach the 100 subscribers. Once we reach the 100 subscribers, the voting and the polls are going to end, and I will show pictures of the final result. So thank you guys so much. Comment your thoughts on The Plague Dogs. Do you think Watership Down is more subtle than The Plague Dogs, or do you think there's an actual purpose behind of what us the viewers are being taught? Like this video, subscribe. I have a bell now, so if you are interested in just the Let's Comment On videos, click that bell to be notified for personal videos or all my videos so you don't miss the upload. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you on another day. Our simplest prevention is our biggest protection. Take care of yourselves and others as you practice social distancing, washing hands, and staying at home. Let's get better by starting to make our world better to reduce the spread of COVID-19. See you later on another day.